Well, hey there, everybody.
Oh, no, that's right.
So yeah, it's great to be here. This is something that Stevie and I have both been looking forward to for a long time now. The chance to try to publicly humiliate each other. We have a couple of amazing commentators here with us today. I'll give them the chance to introduce themselves.
I'm Riley. I run the OG4 of Ratchet Clank games. Yeah, I'm just gonna wish good luck to both runners.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also run the OG4, I suppose. Mostly Rack 1, which is why I'm here on commentary to help out, explain some of the details, explain some of the nerdy stuff, I guess. And yeah, we'll see who takes this today. I've been looking forward to this all week, so good luck to you both.
Thank you. Sneepy, do you have anything you'd like to say?
No.
The Sneepy classic.
I did want to say one thing real quick. I mean, obviously it's a bit of a stretch here, but we are rapidly approaching $100,000. It'd be a bit of an ask to ask for that during our run. That would give you guys an hour. But who knows? Miracles happen once in a while, these sorts of things. I think I just kicked my wire, and now my... Okay, there we go. That's great. That's a good sign of things to come. Are you ready?
Can I push this in?
No.
I'm doing it anyway.
Oh, not too far. Okay, there you go. Nice.
All right. Ready to do this?
Yes.
All right.
Do I have to... No. Do I?
Should we...
Oh god, there's 2 buttons. Which one is it?
Yeah, which one do we hit? Any one of them?
Anyone? Okay, I guess I'll hit it. Load your files, gentlemen.
Well, we're good. Oh, well, I'm good.
Good.
All right.
You're going to do it.
3, 2, 1, go. All right, starting here on Belden. So this is all gold bolts. The runners here are going to blaze through the game in about an hour or less, collecting 40 gold bolts that are scattered out throughout this game. Some planets have 1. I don't believe any has 0, except for, I guess, Belden 1. And some can go up all the way up to 4. So they're going to start out by collecting some bolts here, which you can see here by destroying some crates. So Xem
Bolt RNG is a hilarious thing in this game as well. I just want to point that out. Sorry, Ricky, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're winning by 1 bolt.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Get owned.
Yeah, so the crates have a random like spread of bolts. And Sneepy going for this shortcut here.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it. Yeah, this is a great planet. And it's a straight line, and now we're both done with it.
All right.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, Ricky, do you want to tell us more about Bolt RNG and what we're looking out for?
Yeah, so there's a couple like key sort of like intervals that they need to hit. So for the third planet, they need to be hitting 1,000. And there's a helicopter on the third planet, Kerwan, that's going to play a big part here. By the way, this is River Skip. This basically skips the entire run around of the whole planet. They just touch the trigger to get these 3 enemies to spawn. That gives them the infobot to Kerwan. So they do need 1,000 to get to buy the helipack, which will unlock a whole new set of like moves and whatnot. There will also be one later on that we'll go a little bit more into, which is the big 4,000. By Rilgar, but that is to come. Yeah, so they're both gonna try to snag some bombs and some bolts there. Nice.
I want to apologize publicly to Reali, who sitting right behind me. His mic is copying what I hear, and I play without game audio, and so Reali just gets to hear the dulcet tones of absolute silence.
I just sit in absolute ambience. So for the first 2 planets and the half of Kerwan, they're gonna be doing side flips, which is the fastest way of movement packless. There's nothing more to it. Basically, they just walk. That's the fastest movement option they can use for now. But by the time they hit they're gonna buy the helipack, which is gonna unlock a bunch of movement options.
Both pretty terrible bolts here. 982 and I think Xem 908.
Yep.
So they will both need to get something here. So Sneepy should be good for 1,000 here to buy it, but Xem will need to kill a little bit more. Maybe even this guy, knock him off. So those bolts will home in.
This is great.
Yeah,
there they go.
There's a very popular meme that Sneepy likes to propagate that I get consistently better RNG than him on everything.
That's true.
So I'm glad that now you all get to see that it's wrong in real time.
So now you'll see some neutral long jumps, which is kind of the next bit of tech, you can see on Sneepy's screen, he's going to be doing mid-air long jumps, actually, which is just the act of doing a long jump, canceling it into a side flip, which is what we saw earlier, and then long jumping again before you leave the ground. And this is our first gold bolt, right? I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 1 out of 40.
39 to go.
You'll see that animation a fair few times.
Yep.
40, actually.
40. Well, yeah, 40. Well, maybe not. Depends. There's some voodoo magic we can run to try to avoid those cutscenes. Actually, no, we can't even straight up avoid them. I guess we just like, never mind. Just don't listen to me. I'm multitasking too hard here.
Yeah,
Say
all
more
good.
words.
we'll carry it. So this is one of the oldest tricks in the book. This is train skip. Yeah, this was found all the way back in the day. So by getting hit, or just there's a couple of ways of getting it, but essentially you can move while the train is still in that cutscene, which is why you see the cameras in such an awkward angle. And now I just need to grab the infobot. So after grabbing the infobot, our runners are going to head down to the next gold bolt, which is under here. And we'll see. I want the crowd as to who's going to get the better Ratchet face upon loading the game.
That is the good question.
Yeah, this is really to show who's in the lead. Sneepy might be a couple seconds ahead, but this is really what counts. Good faces. There you go. You choose.
Sneepy, I'll admit it, I like yours better.
I had a pretty good face.
Yeah, you did. Something to note, I did not get a bomb drop. It kind of snapped out of my zone to be able to pick it up. So I'm going to be a little short on bombs going into the next couple of planets.
This is kind of a difficult chain. Looks like Sneepy's good. Looks like Xem is good. Yep. Both getting it. Very nice.
You on pace for Chuck cycle?
Chuck cycle.
Probably.
Yeah, I think I'm getting Huel cycle.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm definitely getting
I got
Huel
the
cycle.
same ledge grab as in practice.
Nice.
It's about the time we maybe should explain Jankbot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. We're gonna get
Yeah.
a load of bolts here.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty true.
Good explanation. I guess that works.
Okay, so to give some history as to why this works, or rather how it was found, because it's pretty insane. There's a runner named Yankee Lad, shoutouts to Yankee, who kind of did a bunch of mining. I don't know, was actually this application of it found by Yankee as well?
Yes, I think so.
So he was like the go-to data miner for bolt RNG and figuring out which crates had which ranges of bolts, because it's all entirely RNG, but it's like within a certain bounds. And so he found this trick where when we destroy the helicopter, whenever you reload Kirwan, you kill one enemy, you do not pick up its bolts, and then the next stack of crates that you blow up, they'll just drop hundreds upon hundreds of bolts for some reason. I don't know. I guess it's like maybe it loads all the bolts into that particular stack of crates. I don't know. The point is, if we blow up a bunch of crates, we'll get a bunch of bolts. But the thing is,
Oh, that is dead even.
if you blow up a bunch of crates, the next time you collect crates, you cannot get more crates. It'll just like drop in increments of 1. And so we have to blow up all those crates without them magnetizing to Ratchet. So it has to be done really fast. And we both do we both get the same loads? I got a faster load.
I got a
Oh,
long
idiot.
load, dude.
Yeah, ship RNG or load RNG is obviously a thing, as you probably saw. I got a half-second lead on Sneepy for no reason. But yeah, we like to meme about it, but it actually does like make sense. We're starting to like time them out in the community.
One more thing about Jankpot is that of course there's still RNG to it. So you saw afterwards, Xem was on like 4150 and Sneepy's on 3990 or something. So like 150. Those are still pretty decent, but you know, you can get all the way up to like 4400. So, you know, a little bit on the lower end for both of these, but still fine.
This is Blarg, which we used to do in 2 visits, but now we do it in 1. Casually, you need the O2 mask to like go out of bounds with Ratchet ever. But if we do it this way and just kind of ignore what the game wants us to do, I think this is originally supposed to be a Clank section, but you can come back with the O2 mask as Ratchet to collect this gold bolt. This is a little scary. I don't have as much height as I would like, but I made it. And then we just go all the way over to this bolt right here. And this is completely unintended. The reason why I had to go around that treacherous route was to dodge a checkpoint. So now when I hyper strike to my death here, it'll just put me right back at the beginning.
Sneepy got a fat midair there. That
Yeah.
should be good. Don't need that hyper strike probably.
Yeah, Sneepy gets juicy, delicious mid-airs, and I get slightly less.
Very nice. Both runners getting this.
So now this is just Blarg, and Blarg is a really difficult set of tunnels to navigate. And it's, I don't know, this is pretty straight, but there's some paths that are very windy, and you have to do some very careful maneuvering around them.
Yeah, some very like kind of curved corridors you'll see now, and we will be able to navigate curved corridors and like stuff like that later, like better. But as of right now, we'll like you'll see in the next corridor how like kind of tough this is. There's also a bunch of frogs in the way that'll block your movement. Those crabs are really good for bolts.
I hate these frogs so much. But I got around them. Get on, frogs. Yeah, there's also a cutscene there that I actually almost just crashed the game on. What SNEEPY is doing right now, actually, if you hit those two cutscenes to unlock the crabs from their tubes too close together, the game just crashes. So we both did crash, which is good. We like that.
I must say, SNEEPY exceptionally low here on health and bolts.
Dude, that's a Zemi Blarg.
That's true. Uh-oh.
Oh. Cut it kind of close for that.
1 bomb from 2 ammo crates.
Oh, man.
That's another thing in this game, is that bomb ammo is very important. We have to manage that very carefully throughout the run. And if you bomb ammo crates at certain angles, the game just eats the ammo, and you don't get it. And it's really, really annoying. So SNEEPY just had that happen to him. One of the crates got completely eaten. The game gets hungry.
Oh, you're doing this blind? Oh, wow. That was actually kind of sick. Yeah, so when you fall into this pod right here. Okay, that's a good that's a good face.
That's a great Ratchet face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, Xem might be Xem might be ahead, but I'd say SNEEPY's 2-0.
I'm 2-0.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so here's Rilgar. We'll explain afterwards. Just watch. That's it. That's the
Very
Cineflip.
nice. That trick is very difficult.
Yeah,
Impressive to hit in a marathon run.
yeah. SNEEPY's turn.
I'll try.
You got this, dude.
Nope.
Nice try.
Well, I'm gonna fly around in the air. Come on.
Oh, we might actually get to see this alternate route.
Yeah, yeah. This route
I'm gonna
is.
die.
It's like a little. Ooh.
Close.
The trick that I'm doing Cineflips, they're quite difficult and very, very easy to mess up. And there is an alternate route here that SNEEPY is doing, using infinite long jumps instead. It only loses about 15-ish, 20 seconds, somewhere around there. But it's, I don't know, it's still like, it's all hard. This whole planet's hard. This whole game is hard.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll go more into infinite long jumps on Umbris, which will be the next planet.
Yeah.
Because you'll see a lot of it, and it's probably a bit easier to explain here. Also, if it wasn't obvious, we're getting these bolts in completely like non-intended ways at all. Like, I even forget how you're supposed to get this one. There's like a water tunnel and all this stuff. We don't even go into it at all. Just grab it from out of bounds. Good face.
Yeah, it was okay.
That one's gonna be a little harder to beat.
I'm a little disappointed in my faces this run, if I'm being honest. I'm just looking at the screen now. We've got a ton of backed up donations. We should pick a time to do that. Maybe after Umbris?
Yeah, probably after Umbris. Okay, so on Umbris. Yeah, so the trick called infinite long jumps, there are certain surfaces in this game where like the mud or the water plane or the ice or the goop or whatever it is, you can kind of chain together long jumps and side flips together, shown like as so, by walking off the edge and then just doing those inputs. And it can be pretty tough to learn, but it's really, really fun to do, especially on this planet. It's just kind of fun to just run around and do that. But yeah, you need to do a lot of them. Now Zem's gonna fall into the mud here and do Ghost Ratchet, so now the game thinks he's dead, so he can pass through this wall right here. Needs the bolts first, though.
This planet is really treacherous. I don't want to mess this up.
Yeah, this
No, it's not. Oh, that's a.
Oh,
Sorry, I missed that.
2-1 maybe?
No, definitely 3-0 SNEEPY.
Okay.
And now this chain is a little difficult because I have to start the ILJ without being able to see the surface that I have to jump off of.
That should be good.
That's good.
Oh.
Whoa, huh? Okay. You never know where a good ILJ will take you. Oh, crap.
Oh.
That's okay.
Yeah, so you can pass through this because of Ghost Ratchet. By sinking into the mud and then pulling yourself out with a swing shot, you'll get two kind of variables. One of them is you can pass through walls, even though you won't clip through the floor, and also the speed cap gets removed from ILJs.
Do we want to do donations now? Is that a good time?
Yeah, they're
Alright.
they're piling on.
Yeah, we got a bunch.
Yeah, the generosity is pouring in, so I'll try and do a quick lightning round here. So Jack Jawagon, $10 with a thumbs up. Anonymous with another 10. JW with 10. Big Al with 10. It seems my donation bomb seemed to have paid off. We have a lot of these. We have Kalazi5 with $100. Very nice. Runish donating $25, saying crowd control Cuphead, here we come. And Anonymous says another $10. And one last one, Nansu with $15, saying thanks to everyone involved, both on camera and off, for another great marathon. I'm happy to announce we're halfway there to the Cuphead crowd control incentive. So we need another $10,000. So keep this momentum going, and we'll be there in no time. Back to you people.
Yeah, have you guys, well, I don't know how many of you guys ever watch or play Cuphead.
Ooh, good chain from SNEEPY as well right there. Good stuff.
Ooh. Yeah, I know that a lot of the PlayStation people probably haven't played much Cuphead, but that game is unbelievably cool, and I can't wait to see the crowd control. I'm a big TMR fan. I saw him walking by in the hallway, and then I was way too shy to say hi. So, yeah, keep the donations coming, people. Battalia is a planet where there's another bolt metric that we have to hit, or a bolt bottleneck, I suppose is the term.
Yeah.
We have to hit 2,000 bolts before the end of this. I'm kind of doing pretty well on bolts here, but I'm just picking some up because it never hurts to... Well, don't you even dare.
No, I just killed myself at the start.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's hard to pay attention to what you're doing, too. How's your run going so far, SNEEPY?
I'm underbolted. I'm a couple minutes behind, so about as well as we could have expected.
There are a lot of things that can go wrong in this game, so even a lead like a minute and a half is not safe. We both want to obviously play very well here. This is Battalia SI. None of this is intended. That's the easiest way of putting it. These jumps can happen because Ratchet enters a crouching animation for a very brief timing window before he starts to fall off of a slope. And these are called wrench SIs, which are the same concept. You swing the wrench over and over. And then it's not over because we have to do Battalia tiptoes, which is done on an even tighter timing window. I have to make sure I kill this bomb first. Hopefully that's good enough. Yeah. This is hard, this little trick right here. Should be good.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's
it's
good.
good.
Yeah.
So he needs 2,000 to pay this guy for the infobot to Gaspar.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really important. I mean, if you get here without 2,000, then you're literally boned.
Yeah, it's true.
Even though the Battalia mountain SI looks very slow, it actually saves a bunch of time. Not only because of the grindlay section being really long, but also the bolt route in this game is very tight. So skipping the 2,000 bolts that we would have to spend on Blark just to by just doing these SIs on the mountain saves a bunch of time on itself.
Yeah, it's like minutes.
So here's the Clank section.
Saves even more time.
Ooh.
Like 4 minutes or something. Okay,
And,
not over. Not over.
And there's the end of the Clank section.
There we go. Enough.
Easily, in my opinion, the worst Clank section in the entire series, casually. And it's like 6 or 7 minutes of just walking around this planet, not really going very fast. So thank goodness we were able to use that tree to just skip all of it. And that's a PS3 exclusive glitch, one of the 2 reasons, I believe. Well, there's a few reasons, but one of the 2 glitch-specific reasons why we run on PlayStation 3, because you just can't do that on PS2. Going on to the gas bar here, I'm gonna be doing a route that skips a bunch of bolts. I think SNEEPY might be picking up some bolts, especially because it's just safer that way. But I'm gonna be relying on a trick on the next planet to get all my bolts. So I'm skipping a bunch of these, and then I have a mid-air chain that I absolutely hate.
Yeah, so Zem needs to get these bolts first, and then right afterwards there is, if you get some really, really juicy mid-airs, you can make this whole gap and do 2 lava bounces, because 3 lava bounces kills you. So here we go. That might not, that's not going to do it.
Gonna do, yeah.
Yeah, so you can bounce all the way over to that platform, and then you can get the gold bolt like from over there.
Yeah, the way to differentiate the good runners from beginner runners of this game is very good midders. So as you can see, Zem is getting very nice speed and height with his midders. That's only just because of doing the inputs the right way. You can get midders that are just way slower just because your inputs are a bit off.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone saw it, but SNEEPY just had a really clutch save with like the hyper strike there. He actually fell below the railing, and then you can actually save it by quickly hyper striking and then flying back up. And then yeah, here we go. That's a classic. You just spawn next to the ship. I've done that so many times. And then Zem's gonna do an SI here that didn't take very long to perfect.
That's a little inside joke in the community.
Joke.
The person who found that originally said it took them like hours to to perfect, and then meanwhile we're just like, I don't know, you just like jump.
Yeah.
So on the Pokitaru, there is a 2,000 bolt purchase here, but largely we're just trying to collect as many bolts as we can because now we're just trying to plan for the end game, where bolts are just, we just need as many of them as we can possibly get.
Okay.
Let's go, SNEEPY.
SNEEPY's throwing the Clank section too. Yeah, so even though there's new quote-unquote new gameplay on Zem's screen, I honestly would recommend just watching SNEEPY's gas bar instead, because Pokey is kind of boring. There's going to be a little bit of bolt manipulation, but it's mostly just escorting the guy to the end. Can you look at his drip, please? There we go.
Oh, I forgot to do the cutscene. Whenever you first see the plane, he just goes, "Hey," and that's a classic Rack meme.
Yeah, perhaps it's time for some messages as well. This is
Yeah.
kind of slow as we go through this. Take it away.
Right. Well, I do have one big announcement and a quick lightning round of donations. Announcement first, we've just hit $94,000.
Getting there.
We are well on our way to that 100K, so keep those donations coming. Here's a few of them right now. $50 from Taser1 with no comment, but thank you anyway. $10 from Alex73630 saying, "Hey everyone, it was my first in-person ESA, and I cannot believe it will end in just a couple of hours. I had so much fun commenting the $25% run of Euro Truck Simulator and Hitman Blood Money. I'll come back for sure. Spam some plum in the chat." And I'll leave you with Sir Gregory II with $25 saying, "Best of luck to both runners. Ratchet & Clank always has a near and dear spot in my heart. Always glad to see it get demolished in runs. Also, shoutouts Joel and Chuck." So yeah, thank you all for your donations. Back to you.
Thank you, Sir Gregory. I didn't catch the other person's name, but thank you as well.
That looks good on SNEEPY's end. Should make this. That's close. Yep.
Let's go. Let's go.
Again, it's a super tough chain. Like, there are actually a couple, like, quote-unquote safer methods to do it. There's a way to do, like, long jump into double midair as well by using the back platform. But, I mean, that's arguably just as hard, to be honest with you. And slower, too.
The only trick on this planet really on Pokitaru is Jankpot Fish. Basically, the way you do it is you swing the wrench, hit enemies with it, and then throw the bomb. And if you do it right, you're gonna get way more bolts than intended from the fish. So that's what Zem is doing right now.
Yeah, you can see you just got like 150 from both of those stack of 4 fish. Not actually really sure why it works.
Yeah, that's a good question. I have a lot of questions about this game, but none of them seem to be ever be answered. So yeah, basically this whole escort mission, you just have to kill the fish as efficiently as you can. which is why we try to get to 40 bombs at the end of Gaspar, because we very much need them. And then after this, we have a dogfight, which always causes some hilarious situations, especially if the ships start bumping into us.
Yeah, so for the longest time, we used to do the ship fight in a fairly consistent way, but there was a new strat discovered that saved around 8 seconds, and it's still better to go for that route, even though it goes wrong most of the times, because the backups are just even out to saving, like, you know, 4 or 2 seconds, or going even or something like that. So Zem's going to try to clip the shop here before the guy reaches the end, but it doesn't save too much. It saves a little bit. A couple seconds there.
Yeah, it's mostly a tilter. Anytime you mess it up, you're just like, ah, come on, man. So this is the ship fight we were talking about, where we have... the method kind of got a little messed up there, but I think that was just entirely my fault. But yeah, we have... if I do this correctly, I can one-cycle this whole thing.
Oh, there's some ammo. That's good.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good fast fight here. Unless I might actually get owned because of how it worked before, but let's see. Nope.
Oh, perfect. Wow,
Nice, got
that's
the
actually
fast
really... Yeah, that's super hard, actually. That went well.
Gonna pick up those bombs as well, just for safety. Now we have to revisit Orxon because we have the O2 mask that we got from the guy, as gracious as he is. So now we can finally walk around that area that we were only able to play as Clank, as Ratchet and Clank together.
Also on SNEEPY's end, we didn't really go over this, but this is like a small SI chain to get over the mountain. It's like you're meant to enter this from like a completely different part, go through this little area, and then get the gold bolt, but you can just grab it like that as well.
This planet has a lot of really funky movement to it. Oh, if I can ever get up this rock. Okay. Yeah, so the funky movement all throughout this planet is like, there's a trick I did a little bit on, or well, both of us did a little bit on Battalia, Tiptoes, when we jumped like on the railing over and over. Or you can also do that on surfaces that would normally just straight up kill you, as long as your timing is proper. So you're gonna see here after a death abuse on this crab.
Battle of the century with his crabs.
Yeah, I know, right? He wins this round. So now we're gonna float down here, and then yeah, we can just go across this. Except I didn't, so.
This is actually deceptively hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I always struggle with this. There's many different ways to do it. Some people do these side flip thrusts, and some people do these double jumps and stuff like that. There's so many ways to cross it. That was nice.
Ooh, that's not good.
But the way that works on Infobot... Oh.
I didn't get bodied by Mr. Krabs there. That's good. Yeah, you have to follow this Infobot around the entire planet.
Yeah, there's 7 locations where you need to like touch, or like you need to hit a radius so he moves forward to his next destination. Little shortcut there.
And as a matter of fact, someone on commentary made a video about this exact Infobot.
Who?
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 Which one of us was it?
I think it was Joester?
It had to have been, wait.
Yeah, probably Joester.
Yep.
Ricky made a very, very in-depth video explaining essentially a long fabled skip in Ratchet and Clank called Pokey Skip, where you would do all of Orxon as Clank instead of revisiting as Ratchet and skip Pokitaru entirely. But as of right now, unfortunately, Pokey Skip is but a dream.
Yeah, and even if it is kind of found, I mean, it would definitely close a big chapter, but it's almost certainly slower unless we find like some method, because Clank is just, his movement is just like horrendously slow, unfortunately.
Now we've got Hoven, which is another planet that we all hate.
Yeah,
ship
nobody likes
fight.
Hoven.
Yeah, do one of you guys want to explain the ship fight and why it's really dumb and stupid?
Yeah.
You can give it a go.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, so Zem's just going to be getting this bolt first, but okay, the ship fight. So, there are these kind of very small spots on the ship. So, okay, I'm trying to channel my inner username here, because he's the one that found it. So there's 5 parts of the ship. They all have 10 health. Each shot of the cannon deals 0.2 damage, but there's a way to deal 1.0 damage, so 5 times the amount. And the spots where you have to hit it are really, really small, and they always move. So Zem's going to do an ILJ into the trigger there, into the Y-axis of the turret to instantly start the fight. And so he's going to aim near the top part and just hope that the cannon hits these like sweet spots, to hopefully take it down pretty quick. This is looking good so far. And the worst one of them all is that middle one. And also, he has to not die to these helis, too. So what a lot of runners will die to is just YOLOing the middle one. You'll get blasted by missiles from the helicopters, and the middle one just doesn't die. But Zem's looking pretty safe right now.
Yeah.
This one, see, it's actually not dying. Okay, there we go. It started dying, and now it's not dying again. That was, yeah, it just goes back and forth.
If you do it absolutely perfectly, or like, I mean, I don't know, there's like an element, I guess, of like pseudo-randomness. Oh, I always go for that hyper strike. Sometimes I get it. There's like an element of pseudo-randomness to it, I guess, because like you're obviously in control of what happens during the fight, but you don't always know where you should be aiming. But essentially, if you do it absolutely perfectly, you can skip killing a wave of the helicopters. I killed one for safety, and it ended up paying off because I think I would have died otherwise.
There's actually some nice movement from Sneepy. I just noticed, like, Zem set up some, you know, to get around the crabs, and Sneepy just kind of went for it there.
Rack 1 runners love to say that the trigger for Hoven upwarp is moving. They just love it.
It moves.
Yeah, it literally does. We always send each other, like, clips of, like, I swear, it moved. I think I have one video that's called like Hoven trigger moves, and then parentheses like paranormal activity. Must watch.
That's like right up there with wall cycles in up person.
Wall cycles.
We love Dax wall cycles.
Yeah.
I love the Dax water.
Oh my god, we don't talk about the Dax water. This is a chain. Should work.
No. Oh, what? What? Barely. Okay, don't listen to me.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm just a Sneepy fan. Can we get a Sneepy chant, please?
Sneepy, 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 Sneepy.
That's me.
Thank you. Okay, so Sneepy's coming. Now Sneepy's on Hoven.
Yay.
Oh, this is actually a different route. This is kind of interesting. So Sneepy's gonna do the ship fight first, and then ILJ over to the bolt. That way he's gonna enter the tunnel the intended way, actually. Pretty small difference between the routes here, but I also kind of like this route too because the ILJ that Zem went for is pretty rough, and if you don't land on the top platform thing, I think it is barely faster at that point. I think. Okay, so this, I have to talk about this. So this is Ultanis. Ultanis has pretty much the hardest trick in the run, at least at this point, and it's called Beam Jump. Now, the Gadgetron PDA is pretty much the most broken item in the entire game. Oh, man.
It happens.
That's what happens, yeah. That's Hoven for you. So the Gadgetron PDA is pretty much the most broken item in the entire game, and the runners will need it in order to do many, many things. Its intended purpose is to buy ammo at a higher price remotely, but you can use it to infinite jump, store speed. You'll see. It's a whole barrage of stuff. And so Zem's going to start setting up for it here by doing a very, like, you know, precise set of moves here. And keep in mind, because of story reasons, he doesn't have Clank because of, like, lightning and stuff and magnetism and all this stuff. So Zem needs to do a very specific... I'm just going to try to let it speak for itself here. This is really, really tough. Okay, one more double jump.
That should be.
That is close.
That should be good.
Yes. There we are.
Yeah, that's scary. That is a very, very hard trick, and it is really nerve-wracking to go for whenever you're on any sort of good pace. It's one of those tricks where it's like nobody even recommends doing it until you're at like around world record level. Thankfully, in preparation for all this, Sneepy and I did like a ton of randomizer races and things like that, where it just gave a a bunch of chances to try to practice beam jump, things like that. So.
How much time is that? 35, it saves?
No, it's
40?
It is, oh my god. I have this argument with so many runners. because there's a runner named Alamuza, shout out to Musa,
Alamuza.
who always says that it saves like 30 seconds, and meanwhile my gold with beam jump is like an entire minute faster than people who don't do it. And so I'm like, your calculations are clearly wrong, but nobody ever relents or listens to me. So, you know, that's the breaks, I suppose.
I think is it like more than any percent? Something?
I actually have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about this game. I just play it.
But you'll see the power of the PDA here. Yeah, Zem's just gonna like infinite jump. Basically, he can reset his jump in many different ways. So that way was to gain like, you know, to go forward, and that's to gain heights. PDA side flips right there.
Really happy I got that. I'm just gonna be honest. Yeah, and then the rest of this planet is just collection. There are 4.
Be on the Gemlik chain. There we go.
Very nice, very nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah, there are 4 gold bolts on Ultanis, and so after you do beam jump, it's just collection to get the rest of them, because the infobot we get almost immediately. So the rest are just moving around. We get to do like this cool little swing shot mechanic right here.
Yeah, you might see some cool movement here. Woo. Okay. Nice.
I wasn't opening the PDA. I would have happily died there if I missed that.
Swag hyper strike.
Yeah. So now we have to revisit Novalis, because that was the very like after Veldin, that was the first level. So so that's the second level. That's how you say that. So yeah, now we have to backtrack to Novalis to get the bolts, and we also, by going back to Novalis before continuing to Quartu, the next planet, it sets up a glitch called Bolt Party, or at least that's what we call it, which should ideally give me a ton of bolts just seemingly at random. But yeah, now you get to basically experience the power of the PDA, because we're just going to be storing a bunch of movement and momentum to do a whole lot of different stuff like this. If I can hit this. There we go. Oh, and I got Lustiges Blaues Wasser glitch.
You got what?
Beautiful blue water glitch. If you pass through the water at a certain angle as you're floating, it just turns the entire screen blue. So yeah, now I'm going to be collecting 500 bolts, and then going to collect the infobot for Iridia.
Yeah, some of these planets are just way quicker to revisit with like all your thruster pack, your PDA, all this sort of stuff. Nice grab on the air.
Thanks, dude.
State cancel?
I'm gonna try to avoid it, ideally. I'm gonna go for something called an anime cancel. It'll be sick if I can get it. No, I did not get it. If you pause the PDA, or if you open up the PDA on the same frame you collect the bolt, you can do some really wonky movement. I'll try to go for it on a couple of the other bolts, just to ideally show it off. And SNEEPY, I'm sure, is gonna be going for it as well.
If I make it.
But yeah, so now we're going to be essentially just going through and trying to chain this momentum all the way to the end of Novalis 2. So that was a little early. Yeah, alright, failing with that would be a little bad. So I got to build up some speed now using a technique called Speedy A's, which is doing a mid-air long jump to build speed and then opening up the PDA to reset your position. So ideally, this should work. That's good. And yeah, you can basically just see like how insane these movement chains get once you have the PDA.
I don't know why it's not working.
Yeah, that is a really strange trick. Like the Magna Walk, that's the first part of beam jump. A lot of people have like way different setups for this. It just sometimes like doesn't work. There we go.
There you go. Let's go, SNEEPY.
Basically need that to get the infobot for the end, and you need to do it again for beam jump. So it's like it's kind of rough.
Do you think now would be a good time for donations while I go through Part 2?
Yeah, sure. That's not too much.
All right,
go
I'll
ahead.
take that as my cue to jump in then. Here's like 3 or 4. Here's $5 from Scoom saying, show SNEEPY how much you have practiced. Then we have...
Are you seeing SNEEPY? I'm sorry, that was...
No, that's fine. We also have $150 from
go.
Virtual's ID, saying kind of an important thing to note about pretty much all of the Ratchet & Clank games is they usually design the planets so that you end up near your ship when you finish the planet. What that means for a speedrun is your exits are right near your entrances, which means a lot of planets you can actually glitch your way or use a very simple river skip and jump straight to the ending. Good luck to Xem, SNEEPY, and all other runners. Zemi salute. We also have $5 from Foas saying, in all caps, "Hi dorks, I miss you, see you next year, hopefully." And finally, a $10 from Edward Malice from all the way from the start of the run saying, dropping off my $10 bomb. So yeah, thank you all for your generosity. Back to you, people.
So it's okay. So Xem has Ghost Ratchet, and he's gonna go ahead and do this giant clank fight. I'm just gonna focus on the right hand side here.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not doing anything interesting.
Fortunately, if you miss that hyper strike, you do fall back into that little area, so you can climb back up. But this is kind of make or break here.
Let's go, SNEEPY.
I got it. Yeah, in my opinion, that's actually the hardest part. Getting the grounded swing instead of the aerial swing on that. You need to be hugging the wall at like a very specific time here. And the reason Xem is doing this giant clank fight, by the way, is because it gives you the coordinates to Kalibo 3, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah, which is only a planet you go to in Olgo Bolt, actually. Well, I guess ACM as well, but in any percent of New Game Plus, you don't go to Kalibo 3 because the only purpose of it is to get the Hologuise, which is just completely skipped on this planet. And there we go, 2,000 on the dot, and here's Bolt Party, right?
Yeah, I got a pretty puny bolt party. It was my birthday, but nobody wanted to come.
Okay. I know that feeling.
Dude, that's a feels birthday, man.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna do Iridia, which is effectively one of the first planets, but we do it at the end because it's much faster to do so. So yeah, just gonna be going through this, trying to do some movement here, and yeah, we kind of have to just kind of go all over. There's this little, normally there's like a hidden rock wall you have to blow up with the bomb, but we just, whatever. You can do a couple of high jumps right there, but I was cringe and didn't hit it. Happens. Thankfully the PDA is like a catch-all in this game, where it's like if you mess something up, you can basically just use the PDA to kind of just save yourself. So it's pretty convenient in that regard.
Yeah, so Iridia has 4 bolts, but the whole planet actually in this category is only 2 minutes, I believe. So it's literally just like zooming around, just grabbing them and then piecing out. There's no objectives that you need to get on this planet at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up some spare bolts because even though Bolt Party was supposed to give me over 2,500 bolts, which is the last bottleneck that we have, it did not, and I don't know why, and I'm scared. So I just grabbed those bolts, and now I'm less scared.
Those are good backups, yeah. So here's some more mud that you can ILJ on. This is, Iridia's full of this, actually. And here's an infinite side flip, effectively the same as Cineflips or infinite long jumps, but just with the thruster pack.
Yeah,
So-
this one is much easier.
Yeah, way easier. Used to go straight to this bolt here.
And now because I've dodged all the checkpoints throughout the level, I'm going to ground pound my way to my death, and then respawn right back at my ship. Easy peasy. Oh, now we have Fleet. Fleet's a fun one. In my fun, I mean excruciatingly difficult. But basically on Fleet, there are a couple different movement chains you have to hit, and the first one is known for killing runs because if you are at a bad elevation, then you get electrocuted, and it's bad. You basically just lose an entire minute if I get electrocuted here. So I'm gonna try to do my best to hit this chain properly. Well, that's a good start. But it's fine as long as you build up speed by the time you get to the end of this like little platform that we have here. Let me go underneath. Please don't shock me.
Ah.
Yeah, that does happen every now and then.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm trying to do some calculations in my head. I think I was actually on world record pace until then.
Legit?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, I've had a pretty solid run. But no more.
Alas.
Yeah, ain't that just how it goes?
Even though the top of this ship looks very easy to chain on, it's actually not that easy. There's a bunch of small edges and stuff that can kill your speed entirely.
Yeah, we haven't really made it very obvious or talked about it at all, but like sliding into an edge or stopping in front of an edge with a bunch of neutral speed just kills it outright. And that's why it's so tough. There's so many invisible bumps on that one. And yeah, again, Xem dodging the checkpoint and then going back to the beginning. All that stuff was, by the way, just for one bolt.
Yeah, it's really annoying, but it actually ends up, like, historically, the way this category worked is that you used to have to buy the PDA, or not the PDA, the decoy glove, which is, I forget, is it 2,500 bolts or is it 7,500? I know it's one or the other. Anyway, the point is, it costs a lot of bolts, and it was really far out of the way, and it made everything a lot harder because there was a clip you used to have to do there that was just nightmarishly difficult. And in classic Fleet fashion, I died once and then absolutely nailed the hardest, or the harder of the two chains, in my opinion. But yeah, so now we're going through to the end of Fleet here. I have to ground pound into this and tuck myself into this wall to clip out and collect a bolt. And then from here, it's just a very simple beeline to the end where I have to try to maneuver around this, like, ooh, whoops. Camera's not agreeing with me. This is actually a little dangerous. I could die here, but let's see. This guy might shoot me. He still might shoot me. He can actually shoot you through the wall, which is hilarious.
Also these lasers. Oi! Oi! Okay.
Matrix.
Wasn't even a little worried. So yeah, now I've unlocked the coordinates for the final planet, Velden 2, which is, if you're remembering, the same as the first planet, except now we have to revisit it because it turns out the bad guy wants to, like, blow it up or something. I don't know. I don't remember the lore. But yeah, Kalibo 3 is a planet where you kind of get to see SPDAs in their entirety, like see the true power of them, just lets you build up speed. And so...
Yeah, so Zem's gonna kind of use this inner ring here to start building a bunch of speed for both of the bolts on this planet, actually. So here's the first one. This ring is actually really nicely shaped to kind of like build a bunch of speed with mid-airs to kind of turn inwards constantly. Good speed there. And,
that was decent.
Yeah, and then just gonna grab it right there as these guys stare you in the soul.
Yeah. They're just like, wait a minute.
They got my bolt. And now Zem's gonna go to the other side.
Oh, dude, the best room in the game is coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby. But first, the chain to it. Luckily, there is this big, like, tube here that you can land on and build a little bit more.
I can make this work, I guess. Yeah, there we go. That's not pretty, but it works. That's kind of the way this game goes, is that it's very easy if you play perfectly. But unfortunately, we're human beings who cannot do that, so we have to adapt how we can. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the room. This is the fat cock room, for obvious reasons. And so that's that room.
Yep. Greatest room in the game.
Yes, absolutely. So now we're on the final planet. And what a planet it is. Velden 2. It's very challenging. There's a lot of things you have to do. It's pretty much an implementation of every single little trick you've had to do throughout the game. And we're going to be doing it right here. Essentially, first we have to start by buying the Pyroster, which is the one thing that we need to kill Drek. And then the reason why we use the Pyroster instead of any other weapon, like some of you who played this game casually are probably like, wait a minute, that weapon sucked. It does suck, you're right, on every version except for PAL PlayStation 3 upscaled to 60 FPS. Or not upscaled, that's not the right term, I don't think. But regardless, it has to be done at 60 FPS, so HD. For whatever reason, when it goes from 50 hertz to 60 hertz, the pyrocitor can damage enemies. If you shove it right into their model, it can damage them on every single frame. And so you'll see the application of that, like, it's just going to absolutely melt Drek's health bar. But first I have to do this movement chain right here. I kind of messed that up, but that's okay. I can speedy aim, if I can actually speedy aim.
Yeah, the pyro glitch is actually like low-key one of the most influential discoveries in this whole game. The final boss in this game is absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
And without the pyro glitch, I don't know what we would do at all for any percent categories. Buy the blaster, I guess.
Yeah, the old strat used to be that you had to just buy the blaster and then run around Drek in a giant circle for a long time. But you couldn't just buy the blaster. You also still had to buy the pyrocitor, even though it's not useful at all, because it's the cheapest weapon aside from the blaster. And if you have 3 weapons when you go to Drek, if you lose 60% of your ammo, the game will start spawning ammo crates. So you just did that to, like, infinitely hit Drek over and over. So I have to avoid the trigger for Drek here. So I'm going to try to move around the right side of this ring. And then come on over here. Do these side flips. And the reason why I had to go around that is to dodge his spawn trigger for the final fight. Because we want him to spawn at the very, very end. We don't want him to spawn anywhere near where we are right now. It saves a lot of time to just kind of do it this way.
Zem also had to PDA side flip over a big death barrier. There's a huge death barrier you have to avoid at all costs. If you touch it, you're just gonna immediately die.
Alright, so now I'm coming up to the final fight, so it's about to be time for me. It depends how this fight goes, though. This can be a very, very treacherous fight. So again, I want to try to side flip. Okay, he gave me bombs. That's
the best attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 4 attacks he can give you. That's the best one.
So you're going to see it just, like, absolutely shreds his health bar here. And normally people who play this game casually remember that this guy's just a tank. He just absorbs so much damage. We're not done yet. He's dead, but I have to press the button here. Coming up on time. And time.
It's a good race.
I mean, it was for a bit.
I'm sorry, Sneep.
Yeah, it happens, man.
It does. Do you want to do beam jump for the fans, though? I know you.
The
What?
button.
What? Oh. Yeah, there we go. Did I hit the right one?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Cool.
It's still going.
Sorry, everyone just.
Okay. Was that a PB? Kevin.
No,
I thought it was close.
It was like a 50-30. If I hadn't, I'm actually a little annoyed by that because if I didn't die on Fleet, then I actually could have gotten world record, which would have been sick. But I'm coming for you, Franz. I'll get you eventually.
Yeah.
These days.
Been standing for a bit too long.
But yeah, obviously this race maybe wasn't as close as people may have expected or things like that, but that's the nature of the game. It's a very brutal game, and honestly, I think it's awesome that you just went for it, Sneepy. Like, getting stuck on beam jump is obviously not the ideal situation, but I really respect it.
It should also be said that Sneepy ran Rack 2 earlier in the event and took place of Marathon Man, who couldn't attend this event, so Sneepy was just put on like this to run 2 games. So, I mean, yeah.
But look at the swag here. Yeah. Do we want to do the donations and things like that? I don't know what the process of all this is.
Well, you could get started with some last words, like any
Sure.
thank yous.
Yeah, do you guys have anything that you'd like to say?
Suppose if you want to run these games, you can feel free to join the Discord. Like I said in the Nexus run, there are channels for every single Ratchet game, even Secret Agent Clank if you're into that.
If you're unfortunately into that.
Hopefully not.
But yeah, feel free to join the Discord. Very friendly community. Everybody's down to help. There's a movement guide for this game. That's the most important part of like learning Ratchet 1 is learning how to move in the game. And yeah, that's the resources you probably need to start out with.
Yeah. Reality, did you want to say anything?
I just wanna shout out Armin.
Wait, can we get him in that? Get over here. This is Armin, the community hype beast. He ate cat food yesterday. It was awesome. Dude, it was so clap.
Shout out, Armin.
Yeah, and I guess we'll close by saying, yeah, just thank you all so much for watching. This is an incredible marathon. ESA is absolutely amazing, and I obviously shout out to the entire PlayStation community who's here supporting all of us through thick and thin. So yeah, and stick around because as far as amazing PlayStation games go, we got another one coming up with Ricky right here, racing against Hillary Puff, aka Bob, aka. Does he go by anything else? I don't
Neck
know.
brace.
So yeah, stick around. Don't go anywhere.
Amazing, amazing. That was a lovely showcase. Valiant effort, Sneepy, but congratulations also to Xem.
Let's go, Stevie!
Amazing, amazing work. That was a fun showcase. Before we head into a quick intermission, let me try and knock out as many donations as I can here. Here's $200 from Lasso Boy. Saying,
Lasso Boy.
Lasso Boy.
good luck, Sneep and Xem. And a shout out to the whole Ratchet & Clank speedrunning community. Here is another $30 from Gronbeck saying, keep on keeping on. Win Connor with $25 and no comment. And let's finish this off with $100 from Nick178. Made it in time with a donation. Good luck to the racers, and let's get to 100,000, everyone. We are currently at 94.5 thousand, which means we need 5,500 to hit 100K by the end of this marathon. And also about, let me verify that real quick, just a quick refresh. $9,300 away from hitting that bonus game incentive. So keep those donations coming, keep pushing. We cannot let up if we want to see some extra content, some extra ESA summer. But for now, quick intermission. We'll be back with the next run.